Cork's Red FM.
I suppose on paper both of them come through very similar routes, and as you say, very hard to call. I think it'll all come down to the wire. Two very evenly matched teams, two teams potentially missing their two big guns, Ambrose Rogers for Down and Dermot Early potentially. It could be a loss for Kildare. We won't know, I'd say, until before the throw in whether he'll line out, but it's really very hard to call.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call, as you said, Brian, but the bookies seem to be favouring Kildare slightly. Is that justified in your opinion?
I suppose depending on who you talk to. I mean, if you were to listen to the analysts on the Sunday game, they would have said that Kildare were probably the most impressive team in the quarterfinals. So I suppose it really is 50-50 on Sunday. Both teams on their day are capable of putting high scores on the board. So I don't know. I don't see that either team is carrying much room in terms of favouritism. They'll both go out and give it everything, I'd imagine, and it'll be very close,
Yeah, no, it's obviously being seen as the biggest weekend in Kildare football for a decade, Brian, since the Leinster Championship win in 2000. And I suppose your own favourite memory would be of coming off the bench to score the winning goal in the Leinster final in 1998.
Yeah, time has been long going. A different time. It's all about the guys on Sunday now. Really, it's. Dermot would be the lad would have been involved with us on that team, and again in 2000 when Galway beat us at the same time in the All Ireland semi-final. So it's been a long time coming for Kildare, and obviously football plays such a huge part of the lives of people up here. People are looking forward to it with great expectation, but Down stand between us and a date with Cork. So we'll look no further than next Sunday anyway at this point in time, I think.
From your own perspective, Brian, going back to 98, what was it like as a Cork man being the hero for Kildare? Because winning Leinster titles with Kildare obviously isn't what you would have dreamt of when you were growing up playing football with Bishopstown.
Oh, absolutely not, Paul. I mean, for me, it was just great to get the opportunity. Obviously, I started playing football with Clane up in Kildare, and I was given the opportunity to go in and train with Kildare, and sure, everything else after that was a bonus, and I was only thankful for being able to repay the faith that the guy Pat McCarthy, who was involved with Kildare at the time, and Miko had placed in me. So, it was a great honour to play with them, and great memories and great friendships drawn up with all the guys that I played with that time. And so it was tremendous. It was great. It was always a dream to play in Croke Park. So that's partly fulfilled.
Yeah, I know if Kildare do beat Down tomorrow, Brian, it'll leave you in a pretty interesting situation with it being a Cork-Kildare final. If that does happen, where will you stand on September 19th? Because I'm sure there'll be some split loyalties.
I'll be sitting firmly in the middle.
Yeah, it certainly it would make for a very good final, though. The last time the sides met in the championship was in the quarter-finals back in 2008. Cork dominated that game, really, but they let Kildare back into it late on, and Cork eventually held on to win by a goal. But Kieran McGeeney, he's really brought Kildare on well since then, and they're a much different proposition now.
Yeah, Kieran has done tremendous work there over the last 3 years. And I mean, I suppose the nemesis of Kildare football would have been a scoring rate, and under Kieran's tutelage, they've absolutely, they're hitting 16, 17, 18 points. Even today against Loud, they hit 116, and which is big scoring in any day. And they've been putting up great scores, and obviously they're defending quite aggressively as well. So Kieran has brought them a huge step forward.
Yeah, no, whoever wins between Kildare and Down tomorrow, Brian, they'll go into the final as underdogs, given Cork's experience in recent years at this stage of the championship. But what have you made of Cork so far this year? I suppose getting to a final by not playing to your potential is probably a good sign.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I mean, Cork's credentials are down on record. They've been in the last 6 semi-finals, contested a number of the All-Irelands and have been unlucky. So, I mean, in terms of where they've got to, they are where they want to be in terms of an All-Ireland final. They've given themselves every chance of going on and winning one, which is ultimately what you want to do. So, I'm sure Cork will go in as favourites. There's no question about that. But, they have the experience to carry that mantle as well. So I don't think that will be phasing Cork in any shape or form.
Yeah, just finally, Brian, before I let you go, how do you see it going tomorrow between Kildare and Down?
Well, obviously, Kildare. I think my hope is that Kildare that they maintain the current upward trend in terms of form, and that they carry that into the game on Sunday. And you'd be hoping that with their physical size and presence, that they might just shade it over Down. But it really is, I think, much harder to call even than last Sunday's game. But we'd be hoping and praying that Kildare will get over the hurdle and give the supporters a day to remember, like '98, and hopefully go one step further. But that's Cork standing in the way there.
Red FM. Cork's Red FM.